All right, guys. So we're going to talk about rapid development matches, and I hope you have been seeing this buzzword, or the posters, or some of the promotions going out in Slack or in social media, or wherever we have been talking about it. Uh, I mean, this is something really new. We thought we should do at Topcoder. We have been trying. We've been thinking about running some regular development competitions, which are fun for developers, and we came to a conclusion that we're going to do something which is more related to speed. You get rated, you get into it, you submit. It's basically allowing you to allowing you to going in and experiencing the rush of competing in a development competition, which means competing real time competition. So you're getting a score at the at the same instance, and that's why we came up with something called RDMs. And as I go through the presentation, we're going to tell you what was the thought behind it, what is the current structure of competitions, and how do we plan to make it better and improve as we go and do more of these. All right. So without waiting, I'll just move into the presentation, and it'll be a very brief and a very small presentation. To take you through what the current structure of competition is, and then we'll open the table for your ideas. And please feel free to comment. Please feel free to put your questions in Q&A, because uh, we believe that with the feedback of the community, we can make these competitions better. All right, moving on. So, what are rapid development competitions? As when I was trying to define it, I was thinking of how we are going to run these competitions. So, I was thinking of words that really make this exciting, and and with all the history we have with SRMs, I was pretty sure there has to be a word called timed and fast, because when we bring these things, the competition becomes more intense, even if it is open for 4 to 5 hours or 6 hours. You see some intense competition happening. And as it says, it was a fast and time software competition, and we wanted to judge members on speed, accuracy, and sometimes also on a technology platform or language too. So the focus was to build to have matches. So when you look at the term matches on Topcoder, it's basically something that scores you instantly. You get a score at the same instance. So if you look at SRMs, if you look at marathon matches, or if you now look at RDMs, a match means you get a score the moment you submit. uh, you can call them hackathons, but the idea behind this is we want to have some objectivity with the requirements, so that we are able to some so so that we are able to automatically judge them and even review them as and while you submit. So we certainly we thought we should call them hackathons, but they're not hackathons. Basically, hackathons generally in general these days, hackathons are those competitions in which uh, you get an idea, you get a theme, and then you have to ideate, you have to plan, and you can do a lot of things. But here we wanted to be pretty sure that we give the requirements, that these are the requirements and this is what you have to achieve. So our focus was to have clearly defined problems and requirements to be solved. And that's how we are focusing on RDMs with this kind of a focus as we go and plan the structure or improve these competitions more. So that's a pretty important aspect. And sometimes we would be doing RDMs which are focused towards, let's say, some particular technology or platform, because we do get a lot of partners, we do get a lot of exciting innovative things to do, which you know a lot of companies, they want the community, as in you guys, to really attempt and learn their technology. So we might run RDMs based on we can call it partnered RDMs or sponsored RDMs, but the focus would be to the focus would be we would be letting you know that this is the technology we'll be focusing on, and this is so you can get trained at it, you can compete on it. We'll give you some material, and then we'll ask you to compete on an RDM based on that. All right. So okay, why are you doing RDMs? I think that's one of the questions that might have hit you guys. So you know um, we see that there are a lot of developers out there who are really excited to do hackathons and compete on cool competitions. But when they look at as a newbie, if you are looking at a top coder competition, I'm sure you are overwhelmed with a lot of requirements, a lot of information. So RDMs can act as a very good gateway for those developers to come and start getting uh, start getting into more of competitive mode on Topcoder, or even competitive mode on development competitions. There are a lot of members out there. There are a lot of developers out there who are learning new technologies these days, who are, this is COVID period, they are at home, but we want to give them a feel of competitions, like, and with the development competitions we have, sometimes we know that a member might get overwhelmed. So this might act as a very good gate for the new members, for the new developers to enter the world of top coder competitions, to realize how exciting it is to compete and do better and learn. And we have seen that all, if I talk to all the members we have, I've seen that they all say that they have learned by doing, they have learned by competing. So, the idea was to give them an easier entry point or onboarding point to come and join the competitive world of development or software development. So with that idea, we came up with RDMs, and this would also, while we have a lot of members applying for gig work, we want them to be rated with the existing. We want them to be compared with the existing community. So how do they, one way is we see their top coder development ratings, but before that they have to compete on a development competition. And again, we get a point where sometimes they are overwhelmed with, oh, I can't go in and compete in this one. It requires a lot of background information. So something like RDMs would become a very easier and very exciting, a quick competition that can really help them get onboarded on top coder competitions and get started with that. And again, so to start a new ecosystem of exciting, quick development competitions, that's something, that's something that is really pushing me to make it more exciting, work with the team, and trying to, do some changes in the background, do some changes on the platform, so that we are able to run these the way we want to. We want to create that excitement around. Uh, that's what we had with SRMs like 20 years ago. All right. Okay. I'll talk about structure a bit. So if you have competed in SRMs, I see a few I see a few attendees here who have been SRM competitors in the past. So I mean, you are familiar with problem writers, coordinators, testers, editorials, blogs. So this is the same structure we want to follow. We are thinking in the direction of, we want the experienced co-pilots, experienced development members to become problem writers, because they have competed in a lot of competitions on top coder. They can make their own problems. By problem I mean they can make a statement, they can find out what can community do and learn and get better in development competitions, or in development in particular. So this structure is something that has worked for us in SRMs, and I think we want to follow it here. So the one who writes the problem, the one who decides this is to be built, is a problem writer. The one who manages the round as a whole is the coordinator. A tester is somebody who goes back and tests the problem statements. He looks into if there's anything that there's a flaw. He basically uh, tries to write a solution to the statement and gives his feedback. And then we have editorials and blogs. I think we will have for RDM, we did RDM one, that's Rapid Development Match one, last week. Bill Jedison was the coordinator, and Shubham Ranjan wrote the problems. We are in the process of writing editorials. A post match highlights blog is coming very soon. It should get published within a day or two, and we'll share it with you all too. So basically describing what happened in the match and how did it go. And in the editorials, you would see how can you solve that problem. And we will be, describing the problem step by step, code by code, taking you through the code snippets and showing you this is how you can solve this problem. So all these things will be available to you, and to go out and check and, learn from so the idea is to make you compete more and learn out of it. So the problems are focused. Even when we write SRMs, the idea is to have problems in which certainly you go back and you learn something out of it. So we will be focusing on making the community learn while they compete and get better. We want you to also learn once you do each competition. So we'll make blogs and editorials available to you so that you can learn a lot out of RDMs. Okay, and this will have it'll have a fantasy problem and or a business problem statement sometimes. So last in the RDM one, the problem we had, I'll talk about that, was a combination of business and fantasy problem. And it's something like use your skills to save the world, or use your skills to help this person set up something, or that. So that's what the statements are going to be. um, right now we are looking at each challenge will have three problems, and I think this is certainly a good way to start. We do have ideas of dividing the divisions like we have in SRMs, but not in the near time. We want to run some competitions, find out where the gap is, and then we want to bring in two divisions or divide uh, the community based on the rating, so that they can compete in two different set of competitions. One will be for the division 2, one will be for division 1, where so if you don't know about that, in SRMs, the community is divided into all the members who register for an SRM are divided into two halves based on the rating. So if you are rated more than 1200, you are division 1. If you are rated less than 1200, you are division 2. So there are three different problems for division 2, and there are three different problems for division 1. We would make that division in the future, but right now we'll concentrate on having three problems while you go through it. Currently, the scoring is based on how fast you submit and achieve the requirement. So the moment you make a submission, nothing in your submission is checked, but you get a score as per the formula written there. Based on that formula, you get a score, and the leaderboard gets populated. Um, no checking is done at this point of time, but in the future we plan to bring in unit tests as a coefficient and a factor in the scoring, where we will be giving you some unit tests. It will be clearly defined. You would know that you have to solve these tests, and you solve those tests, and that becomes a coefficient with your speed. So basically, you will have strong pre-tests to find out if your submission is going to pass or not. So that coefficient of unit test would come into picture if you see the last comment in the slides. All right, that was the structure. If you have any questions around it, you can put it in the Q&A, and we can take it up later. But this is what, in generality, we are planning to do. And while at Topcoder, we are moving more into doing automated tests and automated reviews for this, because we want the community to find out what they have done in as fast as possible in some of the competitions. So we are working on that, and while we work on that, we'll stick to this, and we'll go with that. So I have a question from Chong Wang. And will there be rating metric for IDM? Yes, it will be very similar to how you get rated on the other development competitions. If you go to Thrive and search for development ratings, you would find uh, how the how you are rated in a competition. It will be very similar. So on the platform, we'll be launching 4 competitions. One will be the host competition, and then inside that host competition, there will be 3 separate challenges. So those separate problems won't be rated, but the main competition will be rated. So we'll be compiling all the scores from all the 3 problems and putting it in the main competition. That's something we will be managing at our end, and then we'll be rating that match. So you'll be rated based on the compiled scorecard of all the 3 problems, right? Um, okay. How does the judging happen? So right now, as I said, right now we will give you simple and clear requirements in each problem. If you miss even one part of that, we probably won't reward you any points. And we expect a minimal code quality. That is, we don't want any unused content in the code. Basically, we are expecting the code should be readable. The reviewer or the co-pilot, whosoever is reviewing it at that moment should be able to read your code, understand everything with comments. It should be properly indented, and if you can refactor the code to an extent, that would be amazing too, because we do have several awards and rewards and extra prize money for members who have formatted their code, or who have refactored their code accordingly. So we do emphasize on that, and we want to reward members with that. Once again, we are planning to add a scoring coefficient based out of unit testing, and we will try and have that in the next match, or probably in the next one to that. We'll keep you updated how. So once we announce an RDM on the main page, you would see the details of how you will be judged in this one. So we'll find that out. Uh, in the meantime, by the time we don't have any criteria for unit testing or coefficient over there, we will clearly lay out the requirements you need to achieve and solve. So that will be clearly outright and written to you in the problem statements. All right. Okay. Hopefully exciting for developers. I think that's the feeling we have here. Good feedback. While we were running this contest, the problem writers, the coordinators, we were all into a lot of discussions. There were a lot of points we were facing, and then we even went back to the community and we asked them for their feedback. And there has been some exciting and interesting feedback for all of us. So we are looking at those and trying to improve on that. But I think we feel it is going to be exciting, and you know if you feel you know you you have ideas that how this competition can be better, we need those. So we need those ideas. We want to make it better, and so please let us know. I think this would be exciting because we are planning clear and simple requirements. We don't want you to do long setups, and we don't want you to set up the environments. We want you to straightforward go into the what is being asked and start programming that. And we might give you sample submissions and starter packs to start with, so that you can do that like pretty fast. That's the whole plan. We had a special leaderboard during the RDM that was like giving you all the insights of, if you submit a, where would you lie, and the leaderboard kept changing. We saw some resubmissions coming in, and that was pretty exciting to see during the RDM one. I'll give you a glimpse of that leaderboard in the presentation later. And oh, I think I missed some text there, but the detailed editorials is basically how members solved it, how did they perform, and how did they go ahead with that, and how can you solve those problems now if you want to attempt. So, and then we have some special rewards. We want to bring in rewards for fastest submitters. We want to bring rewards for best refactored code. We want to bring rewards for performance. We had a performance reward uh, during RDM1, and which was pretty exciting. We got some really good stats from Bill Edison on how he was judging the performance, and that can become a standard for us. Or we can even, with your ideas, improve more on how we judge performance of a submission. Uh, and then we want to do special pricing for newbies. So if you have any friends who you think should attempt RDM, this is easy. That doesn't take 72 hours or of workload, but just 5-6 hours of work, and you can compete in this and get recognized, get prizes. We want you to go and promote, and we'll have some special prizes for newbies. And we're also planning to get some interesting courses or credits from sponsors. We planning to get in some sponsors, trying to tie in all the clients we have. So that's something we'll try and bring to you guys with this. Yes. Okay. Okay. So this is my one of the ask is do compete, do try, do get us some good feedback, and the other ask is you can write problems for us. We I'm sure if I show you the sample problem statement, or if I share the link of the problem one, the round one we had, if you go through the problem statement, I'm sure all the experienced devs, all the experience you guys have, you can definitely come with amazing problems. So that's so please do come. So as a problem writer, your task would be to prepare a problem statement, think of a clear requirement, and make it technology independent. That's the first focus. So because we want any and everybody to compete in an RDM, should not be we don't want a member to go to the challenge listing and filter based on Python. Anybody on any technology stack should be able to compete. So should be a statement that should say help him solve this problem, and then the submitters can attempt to it the way they think it should be solved. Um, we would love if you can wrap it around a fantasy or a real business statement, because and you can work with the contest coordinator too, because he can help you or she can help you uh, write make a statement more fancier, or but if a problem is set, I think we all can collaborate and tackle the fantasy or business level statement around that. You would be required to prepare an environment or starter pack. So that's a task of the writer. And right now we are not doing automated testing, but once we start doing that, the task would be to quickly prepare an automated testing script to test on the unit tests I spoke about in the past in the last slide. And it's a constant process. It's an interesting process. Once you get more involved with us in these, you will realize that it's a lot of fun preparing this contest, because it's not for a client, it's for us, and we can make the statement more exciting. We can do interesting things, and it becomes a lot of fun while we are planning the statements and preparing the round. I think if you can hit Bill Jettison or Shubham Ranjan up on Slack and talk to them how fun it was for all of us to run that round. While we were even when we were running the round started, we were looking at the leaderboard, talking around things, answering the forums. So being a part of the team of the problem writer or testers, it's pretty fun. So do try that if you have some problem ideas. uh, I'll share a link very soon on a problem writing link, how you can start writing problems. So I'll put a link in sometime, and then you can take a look at it. That's true. As Jesse said, become a problem writer, people will come. So that's what happens in the SRMs. If a particular problem writer is writing the problems, uh, members from all around the world are the participation on the SRM gets higher. So become a rockstar problem writer. People will come for your problems. They'll start liking you as a somebody who writes interesting and fun and learning problems. So that's an interesting chance for everyone to try the creative side of things, write some statements, and for all the experience they have, all the experience you guys have. All right, so this is the payment for the writer. It's a pretty good payment with not a lot of effort to do, because you guys have been doing this, or while you guys are learning development, you do come upon situations where you have to go back and, oh, this is tricky. How do I solve it? So those kind of situations can become problem statements, and that's the mindset of a problem writer when he's thinking about statements. So if you get stuck, take a note of it, and then that can become a problem statement, a bigger one later on. And the coordinators are some experienced folks, so you can work with them. They are going to guide you, they're going to push you to make the statement better. So it doesn't take a minute, it takes a few seconds. If you are stuck somewhere while doing a project, this is going to be fun to as a tricky statement or an interesting statement to solve. Just put it on a page. And this comes from you know the thing I'm sharing is coming from a lot of famous problem writers we have had, even for SRMs and marathons. It's just while you are doing things, you realize, oh, this can become a good statement for the community to solve and learn to. So you share that, and that can become a problem statement, right? And we are not limited to any type of statements. Even we want to do system design, because I know that's we know that it's one of the interesting parts of a developer's journey. So we even want to do system design, we want to do front end, back end, web app, mobile apps, and whatnot. This list is just limited. I know you guys can come up with extremely good ideas, and we are happy to take them in and discuss and make them work. All right. Okay, so let us talk about the what we had in the round one. We will be publishing a highlights blog. I just completed it a while back, and the writer is refining the editorial. So those three things, those the editorials and the blog would be published to you, and even we are trying to make the submissions available to you. We are creating for a time being, we are creating a, a GitHub repo for all the members who did not compete to go and look at the submissions if they want to. If you competed, you can definitely go back and check the submissions. That's how the top order development competitions work. So you can go and check the submissions of the winners. Uh, but if you didn't compete, we will try and make it available to you. We're trying to make all these three things. One is the highlights blog to understand what happened during the competition. How did the leaderboard change and get updated? And that is the fun part of it. And we'll tell you how you can solve these problems with the editorial, and we'll share the submissions also for you to go and take a look. Okay, so this time we had like 143 registrants and 31 members competed, which was pretty exciting. Something we were not expecting, and thanks to all the members who came up and showed their interest in the match. We had almost 70 submissions in the match. Uh, that 70 means definitely there were some resubmissions coming in, and resubmissions were making the leaderboard change, because your last the score you get is based upon your last submission timestamp, submission that is being considered for. So That's I mean, if you see the scoring formula, I will also share the details of the scoring formula in the chat very soon. But so this was pretty exciting. 12 members were rewarded. We had some special rewards, and this was the statement. So Alice is mad over coffee, and she loves to try out each type of coffee. So she becomes addictive, and she decides to open an online e-commerce store. So this was basically the start of the problem statements. It was initially to help her with manage all the research she's doing with all the files she has created. The second one was trying to create an API. The third one was to create an e-commerce store with uh, some simple features on the e-commerce store. So we went through the statement once or twice, and it was pretty exciting to read through it. And I um, uh, I'll put three links in the chat after this while I'm moving towards the end. One would be the how do RDMs work, one would be problem writing opportunities, and probably the link to the match one, so that you guys can go and check out what the problem statement was. So in the end, we awarded a lot of prizes, and we had some good performance stats too, given to us by Bill Edison. He tried running all those submissions again to get us these exciting stats. It was, this is what we want, right? We want you to get better while you learn and you do new things. We want you to increase the quality of your code, try and aim for a code quality award, or if not, if we want you to make sure your performance is better. So we want you to develop good programming skills, good developer skills. So this is what the whole idea of RDM is. That's why we want to give prizes and motivate members to do concentrate on these things too. uh, so that's why these different awards also were being put up, and we'll come up with more exciting awards as we go, and we learn that we can do more things with this. And sometimes the awards might be dependent on what kind of problem statement is there. So if a problem statement is about something which can help us do more awards, we will just go and have more awards, so that we see you concentrating on those awards and getting more out of it. Yeah. All right. um, I think that's that probably, but we are thinking a lot. We have been, we took some feedback from the members after the RDM one, and the feedback was based on what duration do you think is better for running these. The first one we ran was 48 hours, but we're still looking at all the aspects of it and what duration might work well. uh, we are going to provide you good starter packs as we go, good sample submissions, so that members know what they need to submit. We did see a lot of um, communication gap with what to use, what Docker. So let's say if I have to use Docker, if I don't have to use Docker, but I think we will be very clear about it going forward. And if we are introducing new things which are strict, and we want you to use them, we will make sure we provide you with sample submissions, so that you know what you need to do and how you need to submit your solutions. uh, we're working on scoring. So scoring was pretty strict this time, very much like SRMs. You fail a test case and you're out. You get a zero. But we are trying to bring in unit tests, so that you do pass some unit tests, and you find out right after you submit that yes, you have passed these many unit tests, so that you can work hard on improving those. And and by the time you improve those, your speed might get decreased, and your score might go down. And we feel, as in when you compete in more competitions, you will try and submit when you are completely ready with your submission. So your accuracy towards things and your speed would increase as a developer. This is something what, as a whole, as a goal, we have. We want to learn development, and then we want you to become better as a uh, as a developer. Be quick while you develop and be accurate. So these three are the things we want you to get better. And of course, you know making your code perform better and increasing the code quality can happen as you guys learn more and more. You learn these things more and more when you do these competitions. When we'll expose. So for example, uh, I think we saw competitors competing on the hard problem. But when we'll share the submission, what Sky had with and what performance he had, you guys can go and learn what he did in his submission and how you guys need to do to be better at performance. So on whole, RDMs are focused to making you guys learn and get better in all these aspects. And this is just not the end. I think with all the new problem writers, all the new problem ideas we are getting, uh, we are finding out that yes, we can work on this also and help developers get better at this side of things too. So yeah, it's a learning process. We are still learning with the things, and yeah, this is what we have. So next RDM is on November 25th. It will start at 9 EST. The registration opens a week before. So make sure you register and get ready and submit. And I think that's that from my side. But if you have any questions, please feel free to put it in the Q&A or chat, and I would love to answer them. Or any feedback or ideas, please share. I think I'll quickly share the forum link too, so you can add your ideas there if you want to take some time and put in some ideas together and put it. Just do that, because we really need those to make these better. All right, yeah. I'll try and share some of the links here. And
so thanks, Harshit. Great information. Do you guys in the chat, were any of you, did any of you take part in the first RDM that we did? I think there's a few familiar faces in there, names in there that did. Feel free to share your experience.
so yeah, you would be able to see. We'll share the tutorials. Uh, the submission links to all the submissions very soon. We're preparing all those things. This is the first time we're doing it, so we are templatizing how we do these things and make sure that they are better. So we'll be, I think, within a day or two, probably by day after tomorrow, we'll be sharing those links in the forums. So you can go and check that out. We'll put it in the RDM forums too. We have a RDM forum as a category on forum. So we'll be sharing it there too, and probably put it in Slack also, so that you guys can quickly access it. Yeah. Awesome. I really hope you guys, we really hope you guys compete more and more on these competitions and help us make these better, so that uh, we want, this is something we want you to get engaged to it. We want you to compete and get better. That's the whole idea of this. And this is not for a client. This is for you guys. So you guys to enjoy and get better. Something we really do with the SRMs. It's focused towards members to feel good about, get excited, look at the leaderboards, and that's the whole idea of doing RDMs.
Yeah, and if you think about when we started doing single round matches way back when, it was a huge celebration when we had SRM 100, SRM 500. I mean, those were kind of a big deal. And we have members who have participated. I don't know, is it still Doug or someone who's got the most consecutive SRMs at this point? They participate in so many of them because they really love it and they have that record on their Topcoder profile. So it's a great chance to get started on something new that we're offering and really be a part of the history of Topcoder. So, maybe a year from now, if we're on RDM 50 or something, you can say, oh, I did the first and second one. Like, help us make them really valuable for our community members and something really fun to do. And so I know, like, even I saw, Sergey, you were sharing how you hadn't, done a lot of coding as of late, running challenges as a co-pilot. So this is a great opportunity to try something different that's just for fun, to challenge yourself and just keep that brain and that coding sharp, right? So we really hope that it provides some entertainment for you and some fun and some extra prizes and stuff.
Yep. I would just agree with Jesse. Like the records book. I mean, we sometimes we sit back and we look at the record books of SRMs, and it's pretty exciting how the SRM started, the problems we had during those days, and how with the help of community and feedback, those matches got into a place where they were like they are like one of the problem statements. The way they are run is the format is one of the best, and members enjoy it all around the world. So so with that feeling, we want to start with RDMs. We want your feedback, and we want you to be a part of the a part of as and part of it when we are starting it. So do join in. Yeah. All right. I just shared the link of the forums and problem writing and the RDM competition facts and rules links in the chat. I hope you all got it. Please feel free to add any ideas to this forums and any random ideas. Just if you have, we can do this. We can make it more exciting with this. Just put it in. We are happy to discuss, talk about it, and if it works out, implement it and make it more exciting for you. So yeah. That's
All right, thanks everyone for joining. Thank you, Harshit. This is really exciting. We'll have this up on Thrive as well later this week. And then, we're always available for ideas. And so thanks for joining, and we'll see you next week, right, Harshit? You have another webinar next week, so tell them about that one.
Oh yeah. So there's a webinar on. I'm doing a webinar on data storytelling. It is focused on how when you talk about data, when you draw your data dashboards, when you draw your charts, and when you try and do some statistics around data you have, how you need to do some storytelling around it so that it puts an impact on the the attendees who you are showing this to, or the decision makers who you are showing that to. So that's a very really important aspect, and I recently did a course on that, so I was pretty excited to share it with you all. So I think that's a great opportunity to bring all the ideas. So all the knowledge you have about data storytelling or dashboarding, bring it in. Let's make it a webinar, let's make it a discussion, let's talk about it, and we can we'll make it an exciting one so that you really go back and learn something from it. Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you guys for joining this webinar. Great job, Harshit. And we'll talk to you guys again soon. Have a good one, guys.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.